Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. This one's going to be more of a quick video. I just want to fix up a few things in the Datsun. This hole right here is getting annoying, so I want to patch that up. And I'm going to have to relearn how to do that. And my little button for the window here broke. You see there's one right here. And you press that in and then turn this little latch to unlock the window, but mine broke. I don't know why it did it, but it did, so I have to take this apart and I have to make a new one. So I'm going to start with that first. I got the latch apart. Here's the casing for it. That's what it runs on. There's a little spring in there. And here are all the other parts. This is the bottom half of the button that broke. This is just like a spring to hold tension there, or a washer. This is the little pin that holds it all together. It goes in the little hole here. So, I think somewhere in the back here, that's the top half of the button that broke. It had like an air bubble or something, and it just couldn't withstand being used, so it snapped, and now I have to recreate something that looks like that. And I've tried gluing this back together. I've tried doing it the cheap way, and it broke 3 other times. So I've had enough of that, and I'm just going to make a brand new one out of aluminum. Because I think the hardest part is just going to be this little circle, but I don't even have to do that. Because it goes in there, but it doesn't really matter. So I'm just going to start, and I'm going to just see if I can even recreate this button. I'm going to try to make the button out of this piece of steel I have. It's around the same dimensions, same-ish thickness. Yeah, close enough. So if I can even make something just remotely similar to that, I'll be happy. Just because in this truck, you only have so much air conditioning. That being the windows being down, these tilted backwards like that, and the heater box open, which I think it is. Yeah. All that is your air conditioning. So when that goes out, that's a lot of the air conditioning, because now air doesn't get forced in from that side, it only gets forced in through the middle, which sucks. So I'm just going to stop along every time I get to a step, and I'll show you how it's going. I got the first little bit done. I filed the steel down, so it's now just a little brick. It's now should be, well, close enough to the right width, and it's a lot thinner now, but I think it's the next day, so I don't really remember exactly what I was doing. Yeah, but now it's just as thick as the button, which is good. So I'm going to do a few more passes to get down right to the right thickness, and I'll be back once I get a few more things done on it. Getting a little closer. I'm getting pretty close to having it all done. It's looking very similar now. All the side design is there. All I have to do is cut off the excess material down here. Round this out, because that's supposed to be a button. It's supposed to be nice and round. And just smooth it up and make sure everything's kind of correct. I have to trim down a little bit more there, but overall it's getting really, really close. Once that's all done, I should have a perfectly fine button. Now, I don't know about you, but I'd say this is looking pretty good. All I have to do is a little bit more trimming just around the bottom, and I have to round this out a little more on the belt sander, but like, it fits in the slot. It is essentially just a copy, and I think it's actually coming out pretty good. So I'm just going to put this on the belt sander, clean up a few things, and that should be it. Now I think that's perfect. Looks almost identical, minus of course the little centerpiece there and the little ridge around. I tried to recreate the ridge a little bit just to make it look a little bit better, but it does the exact same thing as that button. So now all I have to do is take this and put it back over there and hope everything works correct. I can finally put the old broken part into the Datsun chest, where all the spare and or old parts are. And now, right over there, it's all fixed. It's all patched up, back together, and it looks a little different from that one. The button's a little longer, but it's the same thing. I mean, it works. It works. It's a strong part made of steel. And now I can finally open my window again. So, hopefully that'll last me another 50 or so years. And now, for the other thing I have to do. The seat. This is supposedly the original seat. I swapped it in a little while ago, made a video on it. And there's that hole there. It's been there forever. And it's getting annoying because when I get up, it tracks a little bit of foam everywhere. So I have to usually just pack it back into the hole and cover that back up. I want to make a patch. Just like a square patch of hopefully a blue material. And I want to just put a sponge under here and then sew it all back together. That way I don't have to get a new seat cover. It can kind of keep that look and I'll have no holes in it. So I'm going to go find the materials and I'll be back. It's the next day and I've gotten all the parts or all the materials I need. I just finished cutting this piece of fabric. I cleaned it yesterday because it was an oil rag. So that's going to be the patch I have. And it's a little bit of a different shade. It's much darker, but that's perfectly fine. And this is also going to be the foam padding I'm using underneath. So I'm going to cut a little patch out of this and I'm going to try and relearn how to sew. The patch is all in place and now all I have to do is sew it back together using some nice blue thread that I found and that was on the floor. It's, get back here. It's once again a different color. It's closer to the seat, but any thread will be fine. So now all I have to do is sew that all back together and I'll be back. It took about an hour, but I finally managed to teach myself how to sew again and I managed to sew this patch on. And I can brush on every side. It doesn't come undone. That sponge is under there, so it gives a little bit of support. And you can say it looks bad. I think it looks fine. It's obvious. It's obvious on camera, and me looking at it in real life, it doesn't even look that bad. I don't know why it's like that on camera, but whatever. It's, as long as it's just not that yellow, like foam underneath. I missed a little spot there, so don't look at that. That'll be fine. Yeah. Just as long as I have a pad there, so no foam gets drawn up. And it just kind of ties it back together a bit. It's just been something I've wanted to do for a little while now. That and the button. I'm very happy the button works. Yeah. So all is well. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.